The term Made in America is backed by a long line of history and tradition and has directly influenced and impacted the way that we dress today. The heritage and history of American vintage style is the foundation and the basis of what modern fashion is built upon, especially in terms of timeless classics, everyday essential basics, and durable hardworking clothing that's gonna last a very long time. American style has always had this kind of flair to it, and any product that is made in the USA is highly sought after because you really don't see it anymore. It's so hard to find a brand that is actually made responsibly in the USA. It's rare that you find a brand that's truly American in that respect in terms of manufacturing, in terms of style, in terms of cut, and it's also very hard to find because there's basically very little manufacturing left in the US. So that's why today I wanted to talk about the best Made in America brands that you could possibly find. It's so important to keep these brands alive, the brands that built fashion, that took that foundation and inspired us for years and years to come. The first brand that I really want to talk about is the brand called Schott, or Schott New York, or Schott NYC. And basically Schott is known and renowned to have started and pioneered and had most notably popularized the Schott Perfecto, which is basically the original motorcycle jacket. And what's really interesting about this brand is it started as a labor of love and a labor of the grind, starting in 1913 by Irving and Jack Schott, who were actually door-to-door raincoat salesmen, as they had no shop, they had nothing, but really just sought out to make some of the best men's outerwear, and eventually they started selling leather goods as well. These guys literally hustled from the beginning, arguably the true American dream, and built something that continues to inspire us today. And now, not only can you still buy the original Schott Perfecto, but they have so many other high-quality leather goods, such as their bomber flight jackets, their wax leather jackets, their rider jackets, nylon jackets, shearling and fur trim jackets, all different types of jackets with some of the highest quality leather materials that you could find. And you can tell, you could feel the American vintage ethos, the tradition, just looking at these garments, even on the screen. The brand Schott is literally backed by what might be the actual American dream, which is to start with nothing and create something absolutely beautiful. They also sell parkas, high quality sweaters and tees. They sell all different types of shirts. They sell so many American made goods, making Schott one of the backbones of American vintage style. Next up, we got a brand called Freenote Cloth, or rather just Freenote, which has been one of my favorite brands recently. I'm actually wearing one of their shirts today, and basically this brand was started by two brothers. I believe their names are Matthew and Andrew Broderick. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But basically the brand started in 2013, and this is a brand that decided to take back American manufacturing and take an inspiration from the American classics that were popularized by the likes of the Southern Cowboys, celebrity influences that we all know and love, and the everyday blue-collar worker that helped build this country on their back. Freenote Cloth makes some of the most incredible raw selvage denim jeans, all manufactured in the US, using fine, high-quality materials, expert construction, expert design, and incredible fit. They also make chinos, as well as other trousers. They make incredible shirts. One of them I'm wearing today, and this has become one of my favorite denim shirts. This is the Freenote Lambert 8-ounce Japanese denim shirt, using some of the finest Japanese denim, as well as other fine fabrics from all around the world. Freenote offers some of the highest quality shirting as well, much of which is available on Huckberry, which is exactly where I got this shirt. And for those of you who don't know, I love Huckberry. I'm always on Huckberry. I talk about it on the channel all the time. And Freenote has some absolutely incredible shirtings as well as American knits on Huckberry as well. Freenote is one of those few brands that are still keeping American style and garment construction alive. Next up, we have another one of my favorite brands, which is Field NYC. And this one really hits home for me because it was basically born and raised and grown literally half an hour to 40 minutes away from where I live, from where I grew up. And this brand has completely transformed into something that basically feels like it time traveled from the past and has brought everything that was great, everything that we seek after today, straight from that timeline, and has brought it to the modern era that we live in today. Field NYC manufactures some of the highest quality raw selvage denim using American-made fabrics as well as Japanese fabrics, some Indian khadi denims, some natural indigo denim from Thailand, and also help support some of the few fabric mills that are left in the United States, namely the Vidalia mills, as well as the Mount Vernon mills, which are basically the only two mills that I know of left in the United States. And they also manufacture some of the highest quality knitwear that is all made in Ridgewood, Queens, literally right down the block from where the shop is. I love Field because the owner, Christian McCann, stands behind his product. He genuinely loves and enjoys high quality clothing manufacturing. He enjoys the history behind behind American heritage, and is one of the few brands that I know of that actually can do reproduction pieces that actually get it right almost to the T. Field NYC is the modern version of the heart of American construction, American design, American style, as well as the grand scheme of workwear in general. Some of my favorite garments from Field NYC are my knit sweaters, namely my Steve McQueen Donegal sweater, which is this incredible hand knit olive green Donegal sweater that has this supremely unique coloration to it. It has such an array of beautiful fibers that are spun into the fabric to create this amazing green cast that has a little bit of blue in it, a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow, and the chunkiness of the sweater is truly unlike anything I've ever seen. Another one of my favorites from them that I also picked up is the sky mohair sweater that also has that kind of rainbow neck that really helps the teal sky bluish color that the sweater has really pop. I love the raglan sleeve construction, or rather the raglan sleeve look that this sweater has. I love the thick gauge knit that gives this sweater a lot of texture, and I think that the mohair really elevates this to such a luxury garment. They also make incredible pants, incredible shirts. Field is a true labor of love, a labor of passion, and is a brand that I trust to continue keeping the heart of American workwear alive. Next up, we got a brand called Gitman Vintage, which has also been a brand that I've had my eye on recently. I recently picked up this Oxford shirt from them, which is basically the American classic everyday shirt, as well as this gorgeous striped cotton and linen blend shirt. And basically, I found out about these guys through Huckberry, which is where I got these two shirts, and it's interesting because they're one of the few shirt makers that are still left in the USA, which is crazy to think because we used to have some of the absolute best shirt manufacturers, the biggest one namely Brooks Brothers. I don't think that Brooks Brothers manufactures in the US anymore. If I'm wrong, then definitely let me know, but I'm almost certain that they don't. And it's crazy because they're literally the ones who popularized the American classic vintage Oxford, but now it's up to brands and shirt makers like Gitman Vintage, basically the only one that I know of left besides Field and besides Freenote, and maybe a few other brands as well, to uphold the tradition of American shirting. And Gitman Vintage does it so well. I mean, all the way from the fabrics to the style and the look of the garment to the washing effect that's given to kind of age it down before you buy it. The shirt already feels kind of lived in, but not in like an old shirt way, but kind of like a shirt that's been yours for a long time. Gitman Vintage has a heavy focus on making high quality American shirting, much of which is available on Huckberry. They have these incredible stripe patterns made from various cotton and linen blends, cotton rami or rami blends, so many different types of styles, so many different types of fabrics, different prints, all different types of stuff, making Gitman Vintage the perfect American shirt manufacturer to cop all of your daily shirts from. Next up, we got another brand that was started in California, which is a brand that I've done work with, but I also truly love just as a consumer, the brand Buck Mason. The brand Buck Mason is another Californian's dream to bring back American manufacturing and basically mirror some of the most popular shirtings that were worn by the likes of Marlon Brando and James Dean. And it basically all started by trying to manufacture the perfect knit t-shirt. T-shirts are not made the same anymore, and we're all aware of that. But what Buck Mason decided to do was they wanted to basically recreate the perfect t-shirt from the past and also kind of bring a little bit of a modern spin to it. So it's not exactly a repro shirt, much like you would see at Field or maybe even Schott New York. What they do is very interesting because they take the best of what worked in the past and they take the best of what works now, and they kind of marry it together to create a modern yet traditional heritage style garment, and that is transcended not just with their t-shirts but throughout the rest of their collection as well. Over time, Buck Mason has matured to something great, to something that I can put my own personal stamp of approval on, and has basically manufactured some of my personal favorite everyday essential pieces. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I've worn this absolutely beautiful fisherman's merino wool and cashmere turtleneck. I mean, I wear this thing with literally almost anything from jeans all the way up to dress pants and sport coats, military fatigues, all different types of stuff, or maybe even their corduroy pants in their full saddle cut, which is their high-rise straight fit, and the combination of these two just looks masterful. Buck Mason has an immense knowledge in curating a collection, but also just manufacturing garments that are gonna last, and I promise you, I really beat this sweater up, and every time I wash it, it looks like I just got it. So that's why I trust Buck Mason in making their knits in the US, and a few of their other garments as well. They're not exclusively a made in US brand, so you definitely want to check out what is made in the US and what isn't, but they definitely do a lot of manufacturing in the US, and they are very successful at it too. Next up, we got a brand called Flint and Tinder, which is basically an entire curated collection of some of the best wax jackets that you'll ever find in all different types of colors and all different types of styles, some of the best chinos to wear those jackets and knits with, and has most notably been popularized recently by Pedro Pascal, who actually wore the wax trucker jacket in the series that we all know and love, which is The Last of Us. And this jacket went crazy. Everybody loves this jacket, and Flint and Tinder has worked its way to become a literal pillar that is upholding American foundation in dress and style with this incredible collection that I absolutely love. Two of my favorite garments from them that I also got on Huckberry is this sage kind of olive greenish hoodie, which they call the 10-year hoodie, which feels like a hoodie that I've had for years and years. I feel like I've had this hoodie since I was a kid. I love the fabric of this hoodie. I love that it has a little density to it, but it's not overall too rugged. I'd say it's just rugged enough. It's got this real nice crisp hand to it. It drapes very well. It also holds its shape nicely. And for the past week and a half, my girlfriend has been telling me to wear this hoodie every single day. She loves when I wear this hoodie. So I think that I can speak for her when I say that this hoodie has definitely received its stamp of approval from the both of us. Another one of my favorite Flint and Tinder garments is definitely the American milled wax jacket. And this one actually has a contrast corduroy collar in a black that complements the navy blue and also stands out on this wicked sheen that this jacket has. And if you guys don't know, wax jackets age down gorgeously. This jacket is going to become something absolutely special over time. It's going to develop this incredible patina, much like how raw denim does. And this jacket performs so incredibly. It's weather resistant, it's viable in the snow, it's easy care, it looks amazing, and it's a garment that's made to last. And all of that is encompassed by the American construction that Flint and Tinder is built upon. I would recommend any of these garments to anybody, as both of these garments are tried and tested and have definitely made their way into my daily rotation. Now for the last brand, we have a little bit of a niche brand that a lot of the luxury connoisseurs and the high-end heritage streetwear nerds, much like myself, all know and love. And this is a brand called Engineered Garments, which was actually started in 2002 and was one of the first brands in the 2000s to kind of help kick off this huge wave of Japanese Americana. But what's interesting about them is that they actually wanted to keep most of their manufacturing in the United States, as opposed to many other Japanese Americana brands that still manufacture in Japan, which is great. I love Japanese manufacturing, but Engineered Garments is something special. It's a completely different animal. It feels American made, it looks American made, but it is elevated with a little bit of that Japanese modern touch. So it's not a true one-to-one reproduction, but it is a brand that takes that heritage to heart. It understands American classic style and just seeks out to elevate and uphold the best parts about Japanese style and manufacturing and American style and manufacturing as well. This brand makes gorgeous garments, most notably their renowned fatigue pant, which everybody seems to love. The olive green color is so wearable with basically anything. It has this real streamlined straight leg and is also a garment that's made to age and last too. A couple of my favorite garments that I've seen from them happen to also be these printed shirtings that they have, which you really don't see in other American brands, which again is a little bit of that Japanese fashion influence that I think really elevates this brand to something that can be exciting yet still long lasting and durable. And like I said, it just takes the best parts of both countries and ethoses and ideologies of their tradition and merges them together to create something that you really otherwise just wouldn't see. Engineered Garments is a brand that has been loved by the American heritage style community just as much as it has been loved by Japan's, and is a brand that has basically pioneered this entire wave of American fashion and American style resurgence that is basically dictating the way that we wear clothes and the fashions that we see today. So all in all, guys, there's only a couple of brands that I know of that still do manufacturing in America the right way, and all of these brands have a little something different. They all have their own very individual feel. They all bring a little flavor, a little something different, but either way you go with any of these brands, you really just can't fail. And I get it, American clothing is expensive relative to what you could find at other places, but at the end of the day, it's an investment garment, and you're making sure that you're investing in a garment that is backed by an ethos of longevity, an ethos of timeless style. And a lot of these brands kind of go into this knowing that you literally only need to buy one type of pant or one type of shirt, and then you're gonna have it for the rest of your life. You don't need 2 or 3 pairs of fatigue pants. You don't need 5 pairs of raw denim jeans like I have. You only really need one of each category of item, and a lot of these brands kind of take that into account, and they say if you're gonna spend the money on this garment and you're only gonna have one, then we're gonna make it right. We're not gonna make it cheap, but we're gonna make it right. So at the end of the day, American manufacturing is an investment, but I promise you it's an investment that you won't be disappointed in. But anyways, guys, as always, I'm actually super late for work. I have to close this video out because I gotta get out the door, but I really appreciate the love and support recently. I have some exciting videos coming out with my friend Nick Stridewise. I had a lot of fun shooting with him the past couple of weeks, and I cannot wait for you guys to see those videos. If you haven't checked out his channel yet, please definitely make sure to go check out his channel. You'd be doing yourself a favor. And with that being said, thank you guys again, and I'll see you next week.